Good evening, everybody. My name is Rabbi Irv Elson, and I'm the director of the Jewish Chaplains Council. And I want to begin by just saying how grateful I am and my family is for everything you're doing. A lot of you, I know, left your families and your homes and came to New York to do your nation's bidding. And that shows a lot about your character and your soul, that you've really committed yourself to a life of service. So thank you very, very much. I want to just share with you a little story today about the famous Manhattan bird. I don't know how many of you have heard about the Manhattan bird, but the Manhattan bird obviously lived in Manhattan, and like every other bird, he used to fly down south for the winter. Well, it turns out one year the Manhattan bird delayed a little bit too much in flying south for the winter, and by the time he decided it was time to go, he took off from Manhattan, and as he started to flap his wings, they started to develop ice. And he flapped harder, and more ice built up until finally he couldn't fly anymore, and he came crashing down into Central Park, probably not too far from where you guys are. And it started snowing, and little by little, the famous Manhattan bird was covered with snow and ice, and he couldn't move, and little by little he felt his life leaving his body. Well, wouldn't you know it, a big cow came walking by and saw a little wing poke out from the snow, and he realized what was happening. Well, this cow actually had some, shall we say, intestinal problems, and he walked up to that mound of snow that was covering the famous Manhattan bird and took this huge dump on the mound of snow. The Manhattan bird didn't know what the heck was going on. He knew it didn't smell very good, but he also realized that that big dump of warm poop started to melt the snow. And little by little, he felt life coming back to him. And little by little, he was able to move his little wing, and then his other little wing. And pretty soon, he was able to pop both wings out from the snow. As the famous Manhattan bird was struggling to free himself from the snow and the ice, a fox came walking by and saw the most interesting thing. He saw a big pile of snow covered in poop, but he also saw two little Manhattan bird wings flashing up in the air. And he thought to himself, boy, that looks like a great hearty meal. So he went up to the mound and he said, hey, bird, if you stick out your wing a little bit further, I'll be able to pull you out. The bird didn't know who was talking, but decided to give it a try. And so the bird really pushed his little wing out through the snow, and then he pushed his other little wing out through the snow, and the fox grabbed both of the wings, pulled out the bird, and ate him. Well, the story actually has a moral, and the moral of the story is those that dump on you aren't always your enemies, and sometimes those that offer you help aren't always your friends. It's kind of a little silly story with a moral, but all this by way of me showing my appreciation to you for everything you do. Once again, I offer you me and my family's deepest appreciations, and I also offer you God's blessings. Thank you.